Today's episode of Strong Links is brought to you by Dan and Van, Sleaford and the surrounding area's #1 man with a van service. And now for today's show.
Well, we are looking into something completely different this time round on Extra Strong Links. We decided to look into rave culture, and we've got an interesting person to talk to who's got a unique framing, shall we say, on the rave culture.
I'll see what you did there.
So we are talking to our friend Matt Shaw. Hello, Matt.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are we doing?
Good, yeah. Thanks for having us, Matt. We're in your home. I've got to say, you've got a really smart house.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very nice. So you're known for collecting early 90s
Late 80s to mostly early 90s, yeah.
rave flyers.
Mm-hmm.
So this was obviously a scene that you were in back in the day,
Yeah.
were you?
Yeah, not so much the late 80s. I had no idea on, really. Certainly opened my eyes to it, being a collector, avid collector now, and it's very interesting to see where it came from, and the artwork, the simplicity of a lot of things, really.
So we were looking, you showed us a video that you were in just a few years ago. You were talking about your collection of rave posters and flyers and everything. And I think in the video, did you say that you had your own personal collection from back in the day and you decided to get rid of it? Is that right?
Yeah. When I first moved here, middle of 96, something like that, I didn't think I'd need it again. I kind of thought it was, I was going to be a dad. I thought why keep these flyers? I knew this young lad who was kind of just coming into the scene, so I thought it'd be nice to just let him have them all. That was a big mistake, to be honest. Yeah, I regret it. I definitely regret it. But at the time, and 30 years later, probably 25 years later, I thought, I'm going to try again.
So, we're looking at the moment, you've got about 6 folders out, and they are all completely full, and you've been collecting these flyers over the years. Do you think the fact that you did get rid of your original stuff, does that kind of drive you in your collection now, do you think?
Massively, yeah. I had no idea there was so many of them at all. You think where you live you have a good collection of flyers, and then you start collecting properly, and it's ridiculous. It's absolutely incredible how many there are. Yeah, I've got, I don't know, maybe 12, 13 folders full. That's not a scratch on what some of the other guys that I've seen, their collections are just, I'm in awe of.
Because, we're just looking at one just here, and that represents an event that people actually attended, and and they were well attended, weren't they, back in the day?
Yeah, there wasn't many. Well, I'd say there wasn't many that we went to anyway that weren't very well attended. But I'm sure there were a few flops, some that were planned and couldn't go ahead, all over the country.
There's some amazing designs, and I was saying earlier, this is obviously back before the days of AI. Now you could churn something like this out really easily, but these are all sort of hand drawn, aren't they?
Mostly, yeah. Some of them that's just a photograph, this computer generated, just wording over something. But more often than not, there's a lot of time and effort and work have gone into these drawings.
They're amazing, aren't they?
They are incredible. Yeah.
Oh, is that Keith Haring design?
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a few actually. There's quite a few Keith Haring style flyers. Wouldn't be able to find them in the folders, to be fair.
So many.
Yeah.
So who would have produced these?
So the promoters from the parties would have had a flyer designer guy that their go-to more often than not. I would say he would create something, and I guess they would say yes or no.
So it would be someone who's a trained designer.
Yeah. I've got a few names, signed plaques up on the wall of some of the designers for certain events that did more than one particular event, kind of company, if you like, production firm.
And does each designer have a particular style that they would be known for?
Some, yeah. Yeah, you can pick one out at certain times if you know some of their other work. Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of, in this style, there's a lot of surrealism. There's even sort of overt Dali references, aren't there? And the space kind of evokes a lot of space and kind of comic books and I suppose
it almost looks a bit trippy.
Yes,
I think that's where you were going.
That's where I was getting at, really. But yeah, these styles, they obviously lend themselves very well to the culture, don't they?
They were meant to be pleasing on the eye, and
Do you have any favourites then? I guess they're in the
most of my favourites are on the wall, but I personally can't fit them all on the wall. That are my favourites. I've got too many. It's hard to pick because once you get this many and you start to see artwork like this and that, the hand-drawn ones, it's impossible to pick even a wall of that size to fill.
Need a few walls, didn't you, for that? Well,
yeah, a friend has recently said that we should probably do like an exhibition. Just build a wall kind of similar to the one upstairs, just take it around festivals and rave functions, things like that, really.
Sort of thing, could you get this into galleries that would do...
I would think so.
Yeah.
Probably. It has been done by other people.
Has it?
Yeah, the company that Keith and the guys at Bad Shoes Films, they've done exhibitions before. Before they've shown their films and stuff that they've made. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's I don't know, how would you categorise this kind of art?
It's impossible, I think, because it's so varied.
You can't really, can you? It's...
No, I mean, you also get it looks like a Benson Hedges packet.
Yeah.
You would get, there's one that's a cornflake packet or a Wrigley's chewing gum or things like that. The parody flyers.
Yeah.
And then you get the simple ones like that.
Which goes on in the art world now.
Yeah.
Parody,
And where do you actually get all these from?
So now they're just online. You can buy them on. I don't have an eBay account, so I don't buy off eBay. But there are Facebook sites where, like Rave Flyer selling page, things like that, where guys can find bunches of them in their loft, or they've just got loads of spares and they sell them. So I bought a couple of big bundles recently. It was about 1,500 flyers worth in 2 bundles, maybe a little bit less than that. I just went through them all, took out all the ones that I didn't already have, got rid of the ones
did you?
Didn't. I don't like having too many spares around.
Yeah.
Vanessa doesn't like me having too many spares around. No, they just get all over the place. So I just stick to more or less one copy of each.
The thing that sort of strikes me is how did these survive? Are they, because I guess back in the day, I remember seeing flyers around and they were sort of disposable.
Yeah, absolutely. People, fortunately for us collectors, there was people that had a collection, put it in a box, in a loft, left it there for the best part of 30 years and decided to dig it out again and potentially selling them. That's where we get them mostly, I guess. Because
But that wouldn't have been done with a view to them making a profit
not
later
at
on.
all. No, they just put them up in the loft. They're similar
Just
to me,
memories.
thinking they would never need them again. I gave mine away. They put theirs in the box in the loft.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
So with the wall of frames, would you say that are those your favourite ones?
Potentially most of them are, yeah. I like to keep it fresh though. Every now and then I just pick a couple of frames and take them down and change the flyer that's in them, so the wall never stays the same for very long at all. So it's constantly something different for me to look at, yeah.
Do they all follow a similar format? I noticed some of them look sort of A4 size.
No, not at all. No, you can get them credit card size all the way up to poster size. Some of them A3s. There's loads of A3s that were around in the early 90s.
Fairly large. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got quite a decent size folder full of those. Yeah, they vary massively. As you can see, as you're flicking through these, there's A5s, A6s, squares, post box. Yeah, there's no real rhythm to them at all.
And you've organised these alphabetically, are they, these folders?
Yeah, I've tried to, or alphabetically as I can. I haven't gone, right, so that starts with a B and then it's the earliest letter after it. If it's B, it goes in the B folder. That's basically as simple as I could make it, really.
And where did all these raves happen? Where did they go on?
Everywhere around the country, from the top to the bottom, really, all over. You could flick through probably 5 pages of this folder and find 5 different towns or cities where the raves were happening.
Yeah.
Surprising how many recently in a load that I bought happening in Grantham. I've got a couple of flyers from Sleaford. Yeah, loads locally that I had no idea of because I didn't live here until '96. It's quite surprising how many flyers I've found that are quite local to Sleaford.
Where are you from originally?
I grew up in Wisbech and then I moved to Sutton Bridge, which is just before the Kings Lynn kind of area. So,
how did you get into this scene?
I think it was mostly friends that were slightly older that were in the scene, and just listening to their stories when they were coming back, seeing the flyers, listening to their tapes, and then gradually just getting more and more of it in my ears, seeing more flyers, and then thinking, I want some of this.
Do you remember the first rave you went to?
I remember the first big one, a couple of clubs kind of thing before that, but the first big one was at Milton Keynes. It was Dreamscape 7, just after the Woodstock 2 was cancelled. They had planned a big weekender event and it got cancelled, and then we went to the first one that they threw back at Sanctuary after. But yeah, that was...
You were how old? How old would you have been?
17. 17, that one, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Would these be underground raves, or are they sort of, official?
They were legals. They were doing flyers and selling tickets and things. So it wasn't find a piece of paper with a number on it and ring one number, that kind of thing. It wasn't. I would have liked to have experienced a lot more of that. But unfortunately, it was more tickets and flyers and arenas with securities and all that kind of thing, which is how it really had to go if it was going to get as big as it did.
Yeah. And what years would be considered the kind of peak rave?
The golden era.
The golden era.
Probably a bit of a grey area over that. You ask one person, you'll get one answer. You ask another, you'll get another answer. It's when you're in it. It didn't really hit me until early 90s, 1990, I would say. I kind of knew of people around that were raving. I hadn't seen many flyers at all, but I knew there was events going around. 92, started going to little places, and then 93 was kind of like big events and things like that. But yeah, it's something that it just doesn't leave you. It's one of those things that if it catches you right the first time round, it's got you forever, I think.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Yeah.
I think for me, I do like the music from before I was raving more than the music when I was raving. It was better. The music was better when I was picking up tapes and listening to tapes with my mates and stuff, and it kind of changed more from when we started going raving.
Right.
But,
Was it becoming more commercialised then?
Yeah, just different, changing, kind of going off in different tangents or whatever reason it was. I just liked the earlier stuff.
I remember 1990.
Yeah.
Being a really good summer.
Yeah.
And there were lots of raves going on, and
Yeah, the 88 to 91, I think, if you ask most people, they would say that was the time to be there. And unfortunately, I wasn't, and I do wish
Yeah.
I could go back to those years and just see them for what they were, their stories and things. It's one of those.
I was 16 in 1990, and it was very exciting. But I suppose it is when you're 16 you're that sort of age.
Yeah.
Then that's when the golden era was, I suppose. Yeah, you're right.
I don't think you can put it into words how you progress through just seeing a few people discussing and talking about where they're going, and you're sitting in the background and you're like, oh, this sounds interesting. And then before you know it, you're in the car and you're driving there, and it's just, oh mate, this is going to be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, I get the impression from chats we've had before, you have a lot of nostalgia for this period. Is that true?
Massively, yeah. It's apart from the children and the wife, they're the most important times of my life, and without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, the music, the scene, people, the travels, the drives, literally everything, the chats in the car parks, before and after, the queues, the rumbles of the walls. It's just one of those things, you think back and you're like, everything about it, it's just perfect. It really is. Yeah, there's so many people, so many good people that just gone for the music, dance, and just make new friends. It's just insane, really, how many people there was doing it.
It sort of brings people together, doesn't it? And
yeah, absolutely.
Everyone's just so friendly, and
a massive culture. I don't think it'll ever be repeated. Not the early rave scene, the acid house scene, however you want to say it. I don't think there'll ever be a musical movement like it ever again.
No, it's all.
I can't see it.
To me, it seemed like one of the last subculture movements. Mm-hmm. You get subcultures now that are not really subcultures.
There's too many. There's just too many genres of everything now, and most of it's not very good, to say the least.
Yeah. Should we go and see this wall?
Yeah, we
wall of frame.
Haven't seen it yet.
This is the first time we've seen it, and
only in video we've seen it.
Yeah,
so,
only on documentaries.
Right. That does not do it justice.
Okay, it looks huge from what I've seen, so let's do it.
Yeah, lead the way.
Okay. So up the stairs.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, here we go. Oh, so the first one I'm looking at is a smiley.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Wow.
Hit that switch behind you. That's it. There she is.
Look at this.
Wow.
Go on, Rich. What do you think?
That is very colourful. And yes, that is really impressive. It's
The colours are just
Floor to ceiling
popped, aren't they?
down that end.
So it's a large wall on your landing,
Yeah.
and it takes up the whole wall.
It's the biggest wall in the house, I think.
Wow.
you just I mean you could stand here and look at this for days.
I
couldn't
do.
you?
Trust me.
You just stare into these
So
images.
that's the flyer for the first one. That was the first big event that we went to, November '93.
Oh, yeah, I saw that on the documentary.
Yeah, that's the Eclipse. That's the King of the Wall. That's probably my favourite as a just nostalgia reasons. It's one of those that it was just in the scene everywhere, and it just says it all.
Yeah.
And that's the signature of Jamsey, the guy that designed it. This is Dave Little, his signature for designing this one. Doogie, we've had a lot of conversations. The guy that did the Eclipse one here, he signed the top of that one.
Oh, yeah.
I know him, enough to sort of converse with for over a couple of beers at night, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few more. Junior Tomlin on this one, Humanity and the Chamberlain up there, Tim Hypnosis, Ray Keith the DJ on that Eternity one up there.
Yeah. So are these the nights or are these the clubs?
Yeah, a mixture.
Right.
Yeah, very much so, a mixture.
I don't know how you capture this in a podcast because there's so much colour
Yeah.
and there's so many flyers, all in gilt frames,
Yeah, no two frames are the same on the wall.
and
All
you.
come from charity shops, so giving back as well. This one.
Yeah, what's that? I was going to ask you.
That's
It's a mask.
Alternate mask. The band Alternate. They
Yeah.
had some hits in the early '90s. That's a 3D print out of one of their masks that one of my friends got me for my birthday. So I'm going to try and get Mark Archer from Alternate to sign me a gold plaque, and I can put that in there
Oh, okay.
with that. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
There are some very random references. So there's looking at Star Wars here. There's Salvador Dali again.
Yeah.
And looking up here, we've got a
Oh,
Bob
yeah.
Ross
Bob Ross.
inspired.
That's Bob Ross on a $5 on $1 bill,
No.
painting a certain chemical sign.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
right, yes. what chemical would that be?
MDMA.
Do you know what that is?
And I'm dyslexic, so. Yeah.
So you were saying you go around a lot of the charity shops. Do they know you
Yeah.
by now? So when you walk,
I used to, and now the wall is, as far as we're as a family are concerned. I'm not.
Surely you can
I'm
go
not.
to there.
It should have stopped here.
Oh, should it?
It should have stopped here. And every now and then I just sneak another one on, and it gets lower, and then I'm like, well, that's got to kind of finish that
Yeah.
line off now. So the last ones I put up were this smiley
Yeah.
and this one. So I was kind of filling this line in, and then I thought, well, that's got to go somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks silly if it went
Yeah.
sort of down here.
Yeah. There's a couple
Well, you
of
could
little
go
ones.
to that line.
I
You've
could.
got up to that line, surely.
Once I start dropping to that line, then I'll, knowing me, I'll end up going further. But Vanessa has said that is the end. And the one behind you is a frame from the film night that we had.
Oh,
So the guys from Bad Shoes Films, they made a documentary on the wall.
Yeah.
And this is loads of little snippets from the night, really. That's DJ Master Safe. He played at the event, and then he came to my house the morning after. And
Where was the event?
It was at the venue at Watergate Yard.
Oh, okay.
who's that?
That's me.
No way. You haven't changed a bit.
That's 18-half-year-old me, with hair down to my shoulders.
Yeah, much longer.
And appropriately behind a wall full of
That's it,
posters.
the original. Yeah, the original wall.
That's your original wall.
Yeah.
Have you managed to get all the flyers back?
All the ones you can see in this picture I've got, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So this is the flyer from the night. It's got my wall in the background of the... It's a really good flyer. Yeah.
Right, so they made a flyer
Yeah.
of your film showing.
Yeah. And this is the DJs that played it, and it's basically saying an exhibition.
Who did this?
So Keith, who made the film, he has a collection of people that I guess he can get in touch with, and this is the guy that did the flyer. But
That's your flyer. That's you.
that's my flyer from a film
Yeah.
with my wall on it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my daughter being taught by the DJs how to play the decks at the night of the film. That's me, Master Safe and Cuts at the film. That's Master Safe playing at the film. That's Master Safe and Laura and Keith, Rory and the DJs from these 3 guys made the film. And the 3 in the back there, they were the DJs.
No muggers, no thuggers, no druggers.
That's a given on a flyer. That
is it?
That keeps everyone's mum happy.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's just brilliant.
Moves down.
Do you know how many flyers you've got?
No idea.
No.
I wouldn't even like to hazard a guess. I don't think. But one thing is nice when on a weekend when the dog comes upstairs and he wants to jump on the bed, he pushes that door open and I lay in bed and I can see.
Wow.
This section of the wall from the bed. Yeah.
It looks so good. You've got a really good eye for framing, and I mean, I've got a bit of an art collection, but the thing I always struggle with is how to put them on a wall.
Yeah.
But I just love the way you've just covered it.
This is the second time it's been up. I put it up and I've filled the whole wall once already, and I just wanted to make a bit of a point of this one. I wanted it to
stand out slightly.
Have a bit of room around it, so it's not just fitting in with the wall. It's like this is my wall. Yeah, so I took it all down, put it back up, and I've managed to get them a little bit closer together than the first time. So that kind of gave me a little bit of room for some more anyway.
Yeah, I think in the film they're just slightly spaced apart, aren't they?
There's a couple of gaps, yeah. Yeah, it's difficult to get them so close, and there's a lot of holes in the wall behind these where I'm like, oh, I know it just needs to come in a little bit that way.
Rain Dance. Is that a club?
That was a production firm. They had parties all over the place.
Right.
There's a Rain Dance there. They might have done. They're doing nights now still actually. They were doing big events. There's a Rain Dance there. There's another one further down that way. Oh, that one, because that was in Wisbeach. So, and I've got Pez. He created this flyer. That was in my hometown. The Prodigy played at that one actually.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't go. It was 91, 92. Yeah, I rode down on my bike and listened to the noise from outside and saw it, and that was kind of that was what really kind of brought it home for me. It's just watching everything kicking off, and it's like, yeah, yes please.
You went to see the Prodigy recently, didn't you?
Yeah. For the, I don't know, 10th time maybe. Carl Cox was with them.
Was he?
Yeah, it was ace. It was such a good event, yeah. Yeah, it's been a long time since I saw Carl Cox as well. 93 was probably the first time I saw him, but at Pleasure Dome.
So if you could travel back in time to just one of these raves, which one would you pick?
Anyone on this wall? I'd say one I didn't go to. That's hard. Wow.
That's a good question, Rich.
That is a good question. Yeah.
Stumped.
I'd like to have gone to a Spectrum night, definitely. Blast Off, Humanity. These are all like 88s and 89s.
So these are real early.
Yeah. Like I say, I'd love to have been there at the start and just seen it.
So where were they held?
It's Hackney. Location near Blackpool. Where else would we go?
Spectrum.
Yeah, Monday nights.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how true it is. That somebody once told me that Happy Mondays got their name from going to this club because it was originated on a Monday, and they went to it. They would go to it.
Oh, okay.
And Happy Mondays. I don't know how true that is, so don't hold me to that.
Yeah. We saw them at Rock City.
What, recently?
No, a few years ago.
Right.
Yeah. They were brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, 1990. They were.
Yeah. I think isn't Bez doing a night at one of the pubs in Lincoln soon? Or
he is.
In the beer garden?
He is, yeah. Is it the Jolly Brewer?
Yeah. I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, because Thingy was there recently when he... Phil Daniels.
I don't know.
Was up there.
I don't know.
Yeah, not so long. A few months ago.
They have quite a few names up there, don't they?
Yeah. I used to run a music festival. We would pick up bands in the Jolly Brewer.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it's a good pub. Can you tell me the story behind this then? What's
the Dreamscape? Back to our roots. So, like I say, they had planned a big weekend event called Woodstock 2, and it was getting quite close. We had tickets for it, and it was getting close to it was going to go off. And then a couple of days before, maybe a few more than that, it was. I think the councils and the powers that be were laid down a few more rules and regulations that they couldn't potentially stick to So I think it just got called off. And then they put on Back to Our Roots, which is them going back to the Sanctuary for a party. So we couldn't miss that one. And to be honest, it was probably one of the best Dreamscapes I went to. It's really, really good.
Was it at the same venue or something? Or?
The Sanctuary is kind of the home of Dreamscape. They had most of their events there. And that's Dreamscape 1 flyer there.
What year is that?
91.
And they go on 9 p.m. till 7 a.m.
Yeah. That
God.
Dreamscape 1 was at the Sanctuary, but it was called the Denby Leisure Centre at the time. It was before it got its name as the Sanctuary.
And would you stay there till 7 in the morning?
Absolutely.
How long do you take to recover after a rave?
That depends. What, nowadays or?
What's the scene like now? Is there?
I think it's really good. It's almost like people my age and older that had their time then are going for the music again and having a lot of fun, but coming home at like 10 o'clock at night because we start at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's a day rave nowadays.
Yeah.
And I think it's, the scene is really, really healthy at the moment from what I've seen.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a lot going off.
Yeah.
There is a lot going off. Everywhere are making their kind of revivals. If they had stopped, they're kind of trying to come back. On some of them, like Rain Dance, keep putting them on. I Need Your House, keep putting them on.
Are these? Would they be the original people that put them on back in?
As far as I'm aware, some of them are. Yeah. Some of them have probably changed hands over the years. But again, I was never really one for like getting to know the promoters, the DJs, and everything. I would just go, music, dance, home. That was kind of my turn of it.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Rich?
It's spectacular. The art and the styles and the randomness. I love kind of randomness, and everyone you look at is different, and
they're so varied, aren't they?
Yeah, so varied, and they're intriguing because you look at it and some of them don't even have any writing on it.
Yeah.
So you naturally going to be thinking, oh, what's this about? I suppose maybe there's information on the other side of it.
But, ones like this, would there be any information on the other side? Or
most things are
double-sided.
Yeah, the DJs that are playing, the sound system size, where it is. Yeah, all the information you need generally on the back.
Right.
Obviously, the ones in the folders have got them like back to back, so you can only see the fronts.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we're just saying it's so varied, all the styles and.
That's the fronts and the backs.
God, that's amazing.
That's really cool, isn't it?
Oh, it's so much to look at. It's just brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're stunning, aren't they?
Yeah.
I love that one. I'm very much drawn to that one. Yeah. It's two sort of nymph kind of creatures in a fantasy scene, isn't it?
Pulse. That's a Pulse flyer from King's Lynn, that one.
Yeah.
And that's a personal favourite as well. A Pleasure Dome UFO flyer.
Yeah.
I like that. It's good.
It's very good.
That's another Keith Haring design.
Yeah. This we're just looking at a wall. It's like I'm just trying to take. It's too much. I've got sensory overload going on.
I told you it just takes your breath away. I don't know anyone that's stood in front of this and hasn't stood there for less than 10 minutes, especially if you've got a connection with them anyway. And I think I said in the film as well that none of these flyers are mine. So they've all come from somebody else's collection, somebody else's stories, somebody else's bedroom wall, somebody else's car on the way home from one rave or another, or a visit to the record shop, to buy tickets, and they've come home with flyers.
So what's the name of the film that you're in? Just tell us that.
The name of the film is You've Gotta Have It to Feel It.
And that's on YouTube, so people can go and watch that.
Yeah, the phrase "gotta have it to feel it" came from just something that I said in the film. We were just sat looking through flyers, discussing them, and me and Keith were talking, and it was just something that came out. I thought, well, you've just gotta have it to feel it. And I think light bulb moment, that's the name of the film. Because originally it wasn't going to be called that. It was going to be called something along the lines of The Wall of Fame, I think, or something like that.
I love it. Who came up with the term like the Wall of Fame?
I did. Yeah, that was mine.
I think that's stroke of genius. You need to trademark that. Honestly, I think that's genius. Wall of Fame is like.
Well, it fits, doesn't it? It suits what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's many frames left in the charity shops in Sleaford. That's for sure. Not gold ones, anyway.
So, how much would you pay for a flyer?
For a flyer, some of the highly collectible ones have gone for hundreds and hundreds of pounds, and still are. But from what I gather, the market's not like it was during COVID. But there's, like I say, there's guys out there that have things to sell and they want to get every penny they can for them, and there's some that just want other people to enjoy what they've got and selling. So I didn't really start until COVID, so I don't know what the scene was like collecting before that. So this is just something that kind of came about during COVID.
Well, I'll tell you, coming to the next pandemic, you are going to be worth a fortune. So, fingers crossed. Yeah, but it's relatively, it's still an accessible sort of thing to get into.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. There's hundreds of them out there every day. There's somebody finding a box of them in their loft, and they don't necessarily want them, so
yeah,
they've been told they can make $1 on it, and they do.
How much would you pay for a frame in a charity shop?
That also depends on whether it's made it to the front of the shop or I find it in the back room. If I find it in the back room, I could potentially come out of there with 5 frames for £2 because they haven't been priced up yet. But sometimes the frames in the shop, like this one, £3-4.
Yeah.
But they're not selling it as the frame. They're selling it as it could be a piece of patchwork from 100 years ago or something in the frame. And I'm taking it out and throwing it in the bin to put a flyer in it. So, it's what somebody spent hours sat on a riverbank painting a swan or something, or a pencil drawing of it, and I've just totally pinned it, not really thinking about it.
I wonder how many Lowrys you've thrown away.
I've got 3 of those.
Well, thanks very much, Matt. It's been really, really interesting. And
You're welcome.
Thank you, Matt.
You're welcome. No, it's been a pleasure just showing it off to somebody else again.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing it, yeah.
Today's episode of Strong Links was brought to you by Dansun Property Services, where quality work meets local care. From reliable maintenance jobs to property refurbs, call Dansun Property Services today. See you next time.